Hello, and thank you for joining. I'm Grace, Communications Coordinator at Ann Arbor's Office of Sustainability and Innovations, and welcome to Greenlight, where we dig into sustainability in Ann Arbor with the residents who are envisioning, creating, and establishing a sustainable and equitable future for our community. Supporting these goals and presenting this series is A2ZERO, the city's plan, framework, vision, and associated actions for creating and implementing a just transition to carbon neutrality community-wide by the year 2030. Today, we're shining the green light on Caitlin Burr from Come On Betty, artisanal canning company, A2ZERO Collaborator, and member of the Sustainable Food Business Coalition, to learn about her experience running a local food business. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So to start us off, I always ask for the elevator pitch of who you are and what you do.
So I'm the founder and CEO of Come On Betty, which, as you said, is an artisanal canning company. We focus on producing relishes and condiments from upcycled surplus produce.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That was a great, snappy intro. How did Come On Betty get started?
I think, like many during the pandemic, I got into canning and food preservation, and this has been kind of a venture of a few passion projects all in one. When I moved to Ann Arbor, I started volunteering with Scrap Creative Reuse and zerowaste.org, and so I felt like canning was kind of my way of contributing to the climate change mitigation through food preservation and food recovery.
Oh, that's great. So you say canning, but you've brought along these little jars. Do you care to show us?
Sure. So canning is just an overarching term, but it just means making sure that it's a shelf-stable product. And so I do water bath canning, which just means you boil and pickle or whatever your process is, and then you put it with the lid in a hot water bath and submerge it for a certain amount of time.
I see.
So that's called canning, but it's usually done with glass jars.
I learn something new every day. So you've been involved with A2ZERO's initiatives over the last few years as you've launched your business. Can you tell us what that collaboration has looked like?
A2ZERO collaboration has been a couple-fold. Like you said, the Sustainable Food Business Coalition, which has been a wonderful partner. They provide a number of resources. It's a wonderful community to be a part of, as everybody's really trying to uplift each other and serve as a resource for whatever questions we might have in our processes, because each food business looks a little different.
Absolutely.
And then through the Green Business Challenge, I've been able to get a lot of resources through the Fresh Coast Climate Solutions team.
Oh yeah, tell me more about that.
So they've actually been with me even separate from A2ZERO since kind of inception.
Oh
point,
really?
Yeah, they helped me through a Scale to Build grant through the Next Cycle program as well.
Oh wow.
So they've been consulting with me at the very beginning, and then once I was a little more established, which is really wonderful. And then they kind of helped me build out what my framework to submit to get the certification with the Green Business Challenge, which hasn't quite happened yet. I still have a few more steps to go, but they've been wonderful partners.
That's awesome. My next question was going to be, what has your participation in the Sustainable Food Business Coalition looked like?
It's been a little limited because I'm not a restaurant, and that's kind of primarily where folks are doing that. But they have wonderful educational programming, and then tabling to just recognize what it looks like. There's the annual Ann Arbor Food Festival, local food fest that's coming up. So being able to participate in that, and then being a panelist through the sustainability forum that happens at the library every month. They did a specific one on food, so I was able to participate in that as well.
That's awesome. How does sustainability factor into your work?
I mean, it's a key pillar, and one of the reasons I founded the company in general is to really be a sustainability champion. So it's ingrained in every aspect of the business.
Yeah, tell me more about that, like just every aspect.
So from sourcing my materials like jars and lids and labels, as well as the produce that I get to put in and that is ultimately consumed, every step is really meant to be as sustainable or circular as possible.
That's awesome. Where do you source the food that ends up in your cans?
Couple places. I work with local farms like Green Things Farm Collective to get my produce, as well as my own organic garden a little bit. And then I work with No Label Juice out of Ypsilanti. So they make a really lovely watermelon juice. When they're done juicing the watermelon, I take the rinds to the kitchen and then make the relish out of it.
Oh, wow. That's great, because my next question was, how does zero waste factor into your work?
There's that. I also get all of my spices and those things from by the pound. So I'm not creating more packaging as part of that process.
Oh, right on.
In terms of other no waste, like the labels, I was able to work with a local company so that they're completely recyclable, including the liners, which that took a long time because something is always garbage as part of that process. And so this is a way that that's diverted.
Wow.
And then I really try to generate zero waste as in all manufacturing because extended producer responsibility is really, really important.
That's really cool. Wait, how did you work that out?
About a year's worth of back and forth, making sure that the material was available. And they finally found a company in North Carolina that manufactures recyclable plastic labels, which it's the only plastic in my process, but it is fully recyclable.
That is really cool, and really cool that you went to all the trouble to find that out and do that research.
Yeah, they were really willing to go on this journey with me, so I'm really happy with my partnership with Argent Tape and Label, for sure.
That is really cool. I've heard you're featured in the A2ZERO Community Cookbook. What did you feature there?
Unlike the relish, it's actually a fermented hot sauce recipe that's featured in the cookbook, and then they also did community food leaders, and so Come On Betty also has a feature besides
your recipe
hot sauce. Yeah,
that is fantastic.
And it was actually featured in the August issue of the Charging Station, so everybody got a sneak peek of my recipe.
That is so
this
exciting.
Past month.
Yes. What do you hope the future holds for Come On Betty?
I've kind of got a lot of irons in the fire, so there's a lot of hopes and dreams for Come On Betty. I hope to be in more local markets. I'm currently in Argus, Farm Stop, and Agricole in Chelsea, which is wonderful, and selling online through my website, but I'm hoping to be in a lot of other markets. I'd love to expand my product line. I'm looking at also canning the brine that's left over from this process.
Oh, wow.
To be even more zero waste. So there'll be tasting and sampling of that soon. And then hoping to do a jar return. I'm looking at logistics of what a jar return program would be as well.
That's really cool. Finally, and most importantly, where does the name Come On Betty come from?
Betty isn't necessarily a person. Come On Betty is a phrase of my mom's. She's just always said it my entire life. That's just been an ism of hers, where she's enthusiastically encouraging people. She'll say, "Come on, Betty." It was at the Lions games. It was at, so it was at everything. But I just said it out loud one day, and I was like, oh, that's absolutely what I have to call my company, is Come On Betty.
That is so sweet. Well, is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience before we go?
I'd say Ann Arbor is the place to be to start a food business and a sustainable business. I can absolutely guarantee that had I never moved here, I never would have started this company, because the resources that are available in Ann Arbor, in Washtenaw County, and in Michigan really just have been astounding, and I would not be here today for that.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool to hear you say that, and thank you for joining us, and thank you for sharing your journey. It sounds like there's been a lot of hard work and effort and problem solving that has gone into all of this, but this is a really cool example.
Yeah, it started in January 2024. It's been a long road to launch the product, but it's been worth it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
You can learn more about Come On Betty at comeonbetty.com, the Sustainable Food Business Coalition at osi.a2gov.org/SFBC, more about the A2ZERO Community Cookbook at osi.a2gov.org/cookbook, and more about A2ZERO and the A2ZERO Collaborators Network by visiting a2zero.org. Have a question you want to ask to a sustainability expert in the city of Ann Arbor, or a story you'd like to share? Let us know at sustainability@a2gov.org. This has been Greenlight. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.